Welcome back to round 2 of our Return to Ravnica draft. JP Sanchez is our opponent. Hello and good luck, JP. And JP won the die roll. And we don't have a mole here. We actually have a pretty okay hand. We'd love a 2-drop or something, but we'll get there. JP says hello and good luck back. Playing first. Ooh. And JP finished in 2 quick rounds, so this could be the Nuts Rakdos deck we're fighting off against. This will be very good for our crew. We'll probably just trade off our Guild Mage against a super aggressive Rakdos deck. If it's like a Gorehouse Chainwalker or something. Shred Freak, maybe not, because Eyes in the Sky does a lot for us against that. And then our Sky Knight will actually help us kind of get there in the near future. Get our Guild Mage down. Retain will come in handy a bit later, so we'll get our Sky Knight and then our Eyes in the Skies and hopefully be drawn into more spells, less lands in the near future. Ooh, but there's Deviant Glee. In that case, I will go ahead and trade off. There is the option to be blown out here with some kind of trick, like a Giant Growth with a Trample, but that's the case. I want to get those things out of hand right now. So, there you go. We might take 2 damage, but still a 2-for-1, which I'm okay with. Alright, cool. This does mean our Liev Sky Knight gets a lot worse. I don't think I want to hold it just to get a Detain in. That's not really what we're trying to do, so we'll just progress our board in that respect. And try to get our beats on. Sure, Shambler, okay. Pretty good with our Eyes in the Skies, even though it will start doing a scavenge ability. But I think we are A-okay with that. Yeah, we just want to get our Eyes in the Skies on board. We'll go ahead and attack in the air. See if we can't win the air race. Definitely worried about Electrickery coming down. Though I was surprised our opponent was mainboarding that. And you'll notice our opponent's already down to three spells. So hopefully a little bit of the action has passed at this point. But yeah, definitely want to be on the lookout for Electrickery. That could get nasty. Just a huge blowout if Electrickery happens. But I'm not going to play around it. Again, I don't think many people play Electrickery in the main board. So we should be okay. Our opponent could, yeah, easily do this and then a Scavenge follow-up, so that's going to be hard. Luckily, Tristani's Judgment will handle that. We'll still be taking 5 points initially. Oh, surprised Scavenge didn't go down. That's very interesting. But that is A-okay. Yeah, we'll just attack in for 4. We're not looking to chump block quite yet. Could always get someone with our Savage Surge too. Which might be the pick here if our opponent doesn't scavenge onto Gorehouse Chainwalker. Maybe we do just get a 3/3 in trade. Nah, I don't like that idea. Especially because we have Tristani's Judgment up next turn to get another dude in and get rid of whatever big threat comes down. And we might be winning the race. Maybe not. Depends what else is played. Ooh, Desecration. So that's definitely going to be our Tristani's Judgment call. Unfortunately, the Shewer Shambler is going to be able to pump up our Gorehouse Chainwalker, but that is definitely just life. Is there any reason each combat? Yeah, there's really no reason to not do the Tristani's Judgment here, because we want to get in that extra point of damage. For the race. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Maybe Scavenge, our opponent forgot about that ability, because the turn before the Desecration Demon could easily have scavenged onto Gorehouse Chainwalker, but maybe our opponent didn't want that to be the case. We're taking a hefty 8 here. I think maybe I do have to chump the Tenement Crasher now, and just take 3, which I'm not excited for, but next turn we will be able to do a Savage Surge block against our opponent. A little bit worried about the 5/4 that will be coming down, because then we're gonna have to do Judge Beetle. No, well, Judge Beetle and Savage Surge. So yeah, we just got to play this this chump game here, because 5 is just too much for us to deal with right now. So we'll chump. Hopefully our Judge Beetle will be able to take out the Gorehouse Chainwalker with the Savage Surge, so we kind of stay alive. Explosive Impact definitely scares me. Does this 1 point of damage matter? Not really, because no matter what, it's still a 3-turn clock. So I might keep the bird back for blocks in case there's a removal spell. Even though I am going to be getting a dude down. 3. I'm trying to decide if I want Stonefair Crocodile or Judge Beetle. I think I want Judge Beetle because of Scavenge. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 3, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's what I'm anticipating. I'm going to play Judge Beetle, hopefully get a Savage Surge on it to trade off with one of these guys, either with whatever the Sewer Shambler gets put onto. I'm thinking here, but that may not be happening. And that's definitely going to be problematic if there's, say, a Annihilating Fire and a Scavenge, because I'm getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 exactly. And that's going to be an issue. But I think that's sort of a corner case on this Annihilating Fire with only 1 spell in hand. I think having the 1 blocker down is going to be good. Alternatively, I can play both of my creatures to have multiple chump blocks off. That just means then my Savage Surge doesn't do a whole lot this turn. I can still probably trade off. It actually forces him to use the Sewer Shambler. Huh. Yeah, I think the play is to go ahead and attack with both of our flyers. Because what that does is that allows our Judge Beetle to be lethal in the following turn. And then we go ahead and play both of our creatures, and that's to kind of get around removal spells. And then we're actually looking to trade off our Judge Beetle. We might even do some double block action here, because our Savage Surge should be able to like hold back. Yeah, so here goes the Sewer Shambler. Correct. Anticipated that. We'll probably do a double here. Curious to see what else our opponent has. Ooh. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that's going to do it, because I can only block one of them. Correct? Yep, that's it. Yeah, I did not see that coming. But I still think that was the correct play. I wasn't going to play around the Trader's Instinct. I think that, I mean, a person needed to draw it and have a land and be able to do everything that happened there. So it was kind of a cornerstone case. And on top of it, I do think our win really was, because this Tenement Crasher was going to be doing tons of damage quickly. Our real only win was to attack with both of our flyers so that we had lethal on the following turn. And if we had just attacked with the Lee of Sky Knight, our opponent would have been at 6 and we only had 5 to go. Because that means the bird probably would have had to jump. So I liked how that was played. Let's see if there's something we want to do. Aerial Predation seems to be going against his demon. We didn't see any other major flyers, but that's just a huge thing. And if we don't have, I mean, just having this extra removal spell and the 2 life can be very helpful. And I think we take out Courser's Accord because I don't think against our opponent's deck we're going to have time to get to 6 mana reliably. Yeah, I think that's the right one there. And I do think we go back to pulling out a plains for an island. Is that correct? Yeah, I think that's going to be correct. I think it's how it should have been built originally anyway. So we'll go there. Yeah, I want to play first. Ooh, such a tempting hand considering it is a Centaur's Herald with the giant growth. But yeah, we can't keep this 1-lander. This is actually way better. So very pleased to see this. The Nombo again, but this doesn't matter too much with Centaur's Herald. It'll get us there eventually. So I moved to 6. What's JP Sanchez gonna do? JP Sanchez is keeps his hand, and I'm definitely keeping this one. So I get to go, so I go. We'll get Dredge Beetle and then Sky Knight down, and then Centaur's Herald as needed. Or will I? Yep. Would very much like to have a removal spell for a Desecration Demon in the near future. Oh cool, we'll actually play Cellar instead of the Sky Knight just because the Detain's going to be cool, and yeah, I think that'll prove fruitful for us. Attack in for 2. I mean, if he has the Rakdos Shred Freak, then I'm actually really happy to have the Cellar Songbirds here. Dead Reveler. Good card. Unleashed. Or not leashed, rather. Or actually leashed. I get it. It kind of like holds back our assault. Luckily we have... Oh wow. This is going to be brutal. Play Lee of Sky Knight. We'll get in for quite a bit. Yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to come back from. Now that's impossible. He has a Desecration Demon, and I just have a Giant Growth. But even if Desecration Demon does come down here, I don't have to sacrifice a creature, I can just detain it. We'll get in for 4 in the air still, and then hopefully our Dark Runner put on top of another. Okay. So that is going to be trading with some of our dudes here. Quite a bit. We'll want to arrest it soon enough. Alright, so we detain Dark Revenant, we attack for 4 in the air, we have our guys back for blocking. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Just playing this tempo game should help quite a bit. Desecration Demon can get an arrest. Maybe the Dark Revenant gets an arrest. We'll see. Kind of want to hang on to it, but if we attack in, I mean, he can eat a bird, goes down to 4. It's still not going to be awesome for us. If we draw land, we might just have a win, because we can arrest the demon. We do have 2 giant growths now, which I like. That will help us deal with the Desecration Demon, which I'm going to go with the arrest on the Dark Revenant. There's a launch party here. That's a bummer. Augur Spree. Augur Spree is still a bummer, but at least we get some amount of damage in. And with double giant growths, we might be able to pound in quite a bit of damage in the following turn, especially if we draw a forest. Stab wound, okay. That's okay for us. I'm not excited to be only hitting 1 a turn here. What could the guy have? I think we have it here. Electrickery could get us. Which is why I think Electrickery is the only thing in the format that could kill our birds, so we actually want to attack with everything and just double giant growth whatever goes down. And if I'm forgetting something, then I'm forgetting something. Yeah. There we are. Whew. Kind of just barely got that. And, you know, our opponent could have easily stabilized quickly. We got pretty lucky on our little triple removal tempo plays here. So hopefully we can do that again. I'm not too sure we can. I don't think our deck is nearly matched as well for our opponents with the Augur Spree and Stab Wounds and, gosh, Desecration Demon. And his 2/2 flyer that bounced back, was that the Dark Revenant or whatever, is actually pretty awesome against our deck. So those are 2 flyers we care about. I'm glad we have Aerial Predation in, because this is going to be important against the Revenant and the Desecration Demon. Yeah, but we are going to keep it the same way and see if we can't battle this out in the 3rd round, or in the 3rd game of this 2nd round. Alright, do we have a keep? We have a Vassal Soul play and a Stonefair Crocodile without able to play our whites, which I think we're just going to have to grab. We do have two plays. I don't want to be mulling down, and eventually we'll get our whites going. So, yeah, we're not going to mull this. Ooh, this is going to be a challenge. Savage Surge will help in the near future, but for now, we just have our lowly forest. We're going to be taking a whole lot of damage. Looks like the Crocodile is going to trade for the Cackler, which is just a bummer. Good that our opponent is off black, and the Volatile Rig will actually end up doing very nice things for us, but in the meantime, we just take a bunch of hurt right now. Wouldn't mind drawing a Plains next so we can have the Cellar up for defense, because that would basically leave us back a bird token of some sort, and that's pretty cool. Plains? No. That's okay, we knew that we weren't going to necessarily have that kind of a draw. I'm glad that we're going to be able to have our Volatile Rig up. And we'll trade away our Stonefair Crocodile with the Rakdos Cackler. I care more about the flyer anyway. And then, yeah, so we'll trade it up, although quite possibly our opponent has one of his many removal spells, but does not, so goodbye. We just need to kill it now, and we do have follow-up plays with our Vassal Soul. Our Volatile Rig is going to be very cool. We want to be attacking each turn if able, before we have a huge board down anyway. That's a good card. But I think we have a better card. Let's see what our opponent decides to do. So our opponent wants to get more damage in and not take damage from the rig, which makes sense. We have our giant growth. We still don't have any of our planes, which is definitely a bummer, but at least we'll have some of our combat tricks at the ready. So we'll go ahead and bash in with our volatile rig. That's good. We'll play our Vassal Soul. Let's see what our opponent has. An Annihilating Fire. Okay. So it's 3 damage. Whenever it does it, then we get flip a coin. So that's kind of a... How much damage is it? It deals 4 damage to each creature and each player. I might end up using my Giant Growth to save it. So first we're just going to see if it gets sacrificed. Would you like to choose heads? Yes. I won the flip. If you lose the flip, so I get to keep my volatile rig. Yeah, that seemed like a pretty desperate play because he just used Annihilating Fire simply to get a flip in, which is kind of weird to me. Now it's holding back. Ooh, that's actually really good. I like Giant Growth to possibly just keep our Vassal Soul around, though there's a number of removal spells that get us. We'll see. But we're attacking with everybody. Especially because our opponent does want to do so much damage to us. 2 and 2? Yes. Okay. Yes. I lost the flip. So now we're sacrificing it. That's an okay. And does 4 damage to each creature and each player if you lose the flip. I wonder if you can respond to that. Because I do really need this Giant Growth to stick around, but I'm just curious as to how how the Giant Growth affects. Do I have? Honestly, I don't think I can afford to miss this, so we're just gonna go ahead and Giant Growth our flyer, which sucks because I don't really know how this works against a. Was this an Argus Spree? Ooh, we can strike target non-land permanent with converted mana, cast 3 or less. There's nothing I can do about that, right? Yep. Oh, okay. So no matter what, our Giant Growth is gone. I lost the flip. So we are all down, and the bummer is I don't have a follow-up, which gives our opponent the opportunity to have the first creature. Now if we get a Plains down, we're going to be in good shape. Luckily we have our Aerial Predation. And that just might get us the mini edge we need to gain us 2 life, do a trade-off, and draw Plains? Yes. Alright. So we have the same amount of power on the board with Cellar of Sunwards and Ice Guys, but I think we do just go ahead and play the Cellar here. Can't attack anyway, and I like having instants up for our Eyes in the Skies. And having multiple creatures is going to be very good. Argument is just to play Eyes in the Skies at end step, see what our opponent does, so that we have more power in the air. I think I might have liked that play earlier. I think I should have kept Eyes in the Skies up. Dead Reveler. Is our opponent racing us? No. Maybe. Yes. So our opponent is going to race. Luckily our Savage Surge will help us out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus this. We don't need to play our Forest yet. 1, 2. And there's no reason because we have both, we have a couple islands out. So we attack in with our Bird do 1. Our opponent's going to come in with a 3/2. We might get hit out with a removal spell. That's going to happen. So we'll do that after blocks. But hopefully getting a 3/4 to eat his Grass Chainwalker will be very helpful. Though I wouldn't mind it as just a finisher, but yeah, this is going to be kind of close. Because Auger Spree or Stab... Well, Stab Wound, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Attacking you with both. I am okay with that. Because then we block here. So at least we prevent 3 points of damage. And then we will Savage Surge. What's our opponent have? Lobber Crew. Okay. This race is getting pretty close. Because our opponent can do 3 a turn, so can we, but I think we're a little more fragile against our opponent. Not entirely sure what our opponent's contemplating here. JP Sanchez, what are your thoughts? I mean, an Auger Spree would just wreck us. It would totally turn the clock around. I mean, you have to still wait till next turn because you want to get that extra point in because those extra points are going to matter. If we can rip a card, we'd be in anything that's playable would just put us into very good shape. This is a pretty crazy interactive game. Answers to everything from every side of the table. Okay. You want another bird. Oh, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage. We'll probably just keep it for a lethal bit. Because at least that means next turn any one of our birds are lethal. The danger is if there's a Auger Spree or some sort to react to it. So we want to be playing around instant removal here. Our opponent was thinking at the end of that last turn, wondering what the thought was. I'm going to take 2 here. Because there are a number of cards we can draw to deal with the Dead Reveler, and I would rather just have a bunch of lethal guys on the board to see what our opponent does. What do you have? Dark Revenant. That is good for us. Especially because we can do Arrest as well as our Giant Growth. So we'll just go ahead and put in Arrest. Auger Spree is not available. We will begin our combat. We will take our 1. We will attack with our flyers and our Cellar? I mean, is that just a give? Is there something our opponent could have? I really don't think so. Did we get there? Yeah. I assume that's what that was. He was just kind of, or JP was just doing hand me that extra point of damage. Not too sure. But I had to think, because I don't remember Return to Ravnica that well. But yeah, super fun game. Let's see how we do in the 3rd round, and see what other new cards we start remembering from this format.